fear the Reaper. Just fear the devil. Hey everyone, it's Michelle Alexandria coming at you with the review of Daredevil Season 3. Now, I'm confused. Is it Marvel's Daredevil on Netflix, or is it Netflix's Marvel's Daredevil? I'm always confused as to how I'm supposed to title this. But anyway, once again, my name is Michelle Alexandria, and here's a review of Daredevil Season 3. As someone who used to avidly collect Daredevil back in the 80s and early 90s, yes, I do have the original Frank Miller run. I have to admit, I've never been a fan of Marvel's Daredevil on Netflix. It's a solid show, but it is so relentlessly dour and one note that I just found it hard to get into. Season 3 Daredevil is devoid of humor, any kind of lightness, and almost every character is just depressing to watch. Everyone on this show look like they need a psychiatrist, as everyone is suffering from some form of PTSD. Netflix made the first 6 episodes available for review, and honestly, it was a struggle to get through the first 3 episodes, let alone all 6 of them. With that said, I struggled through the first 6 episodes a few months ago, and if I wrote this review back then, I would have savaged this show. But I decided to give it a rewatch a few days ago, and it works a lot better the second time around. I still have an issue with the overall tone of the show, and honestly, I just don't need another entire season of Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin, played by the great Vincent D'Onofrio. I generally hate when the supervillain knows everything and is always 10 steps ahead of everyone. It just makes the rest of the cast seem stupid by comparison. The first few episodes are all about deconstructing Matt Murdock, played by, Charlie Cox. But after 2 seasons of this, I'm hard-pressed to figure out what there was to actually deconstruct. Murdock was never a jovial fellow to begin with, and he was never this jovial fellow with this stellar life and tons of friends to destroy. Matt starts the season off convalescing in the church home that he grew up with as a kid, when he was a kid in Hell's Kitchen. There are a lot of heavy-handed religious overtones in the first few episodes, but the comics always had a deep yin-yang thing with Daredevil versus Catholicism. He wants to leave Matt behind and start over as a nomad with no ties to anything or anyone. But as the first 6 episodes progress, we see him falling deeper and deeper into his Daredevil persona, and the drug metaphor the show uses isn't so subtle at all. It just isn't a beat it over your head that, hey, look over here. Daredevil is Matt Murdock's drug of choice, and it's going to lead to his downfall. So, and then beat that over your head in the first 3 or 4 episodes. Karen Page, played by Deborah Ann Wool, still annoys me, and I don't know quite why. Maybe it's because she never really does anything except be the damsel in distress and the common connector between all the other characters. That's her only use so far. At the end of the day, she's just another depressing character in this dour tapestry of a world the Netflix Marvel shows wallow in. This season, she spends her time in the first few episodes telling Foggy that she thinks Matt's still alive while working on whatever story comes across her desk. This time, she gets a lead that she may be right when she tracks down a young socialite that Matt saved. And it's the socialite he saves in the very first episode. Karen is sure this is further proof that Matt is back. It's confirmed by episode 4. It's confirmed when Matt shows up in an apartment asking for her help. Meanwhile, Foggy is just Foggy. He doesn't really know what to make of Matt, and is trying to convince Karen that Matt is dead and to give up searching and give up the hope, give up the dream. Later, he finds out how wrong he was, and when he finds out the Kingpin is helping the FBI, he rightly assumes he's going to be a target. To help protect himself, Foggy decides to run for a district attorney in the hopes that being public, Kingpin won't come after him. Has he been paying attention? Kingpin doesn't care if you're a public figure. I mean, come on now. On the face of it, it seems like a good plan, but in reality, it's not going to work. One of the eventual major subplots is the introduction of popular comic book villain Bullseye. He starts the season off as this no-nonsense, straight-laced super agent named Benjamin Detz Poindexter, and he's played by Wilson Bethel. My issue with this character was his descent into madness was sudden and done strictly for expedience. I mean, sure, episode 5 gives us Death's history from Kingpin's point of view, when we find out that the guy was a psychopath and had a lifelong struggle to keep his condition in check. But he was successfully doing it. There's a difference between calling him a psychopath in one episode and giving Kingpin the tools to manipulate him to death, throwing everything that he worked for away. Episode 5 was one giant, out-of-the-blue, MacGuffin, Mary Sue style episode. In episode 6, Death isn't just killing criminals. He goes from being a straight shooter, rigid FBI agent to straight up murderer when he dons the Daredevil's outfit and he kills like a newsroom full of people, like 8 or 9 people. After just one conversation with the Kingpin, that I had whiplash after watching that. That entire sequence would have been better served if they took some time to show us getting sucked into Kingpin's web of lies and everything else, and showing him doing little small favors before he goes right straight into killing people for Kingpin. That just made absolutely no sense. To help save his beloved Vanessa, Kingpin convinces ambitious FBI agent Raul Nadeem, played by Jay Alley, that he can be useful as a confidential informant. As the result of Kingpin's tips, the FBI gets more and more high-profile busts, which sucks Nadeem deeper into Kingpin's web. Everyone tells him he's been played, but he refuses to listen. Even when Kingpin eventually frames Matt, he doesn't question it. He just goes straight after Matt Murdock and starts harassing Foggy and all of Matt's friends, which is basically just Foggy and Karen. So it's not that much of a hardship to harass Matt's friends. The problem with a plot like this is the audience knows he's obviously being played, and it just makes Nadeem come across as stupid and unsympathetic. Instead of wasting his screen time on a guy I didn't care about like Nadeem, the show should have been used on this plot thread should have been used during Deaths. That way, when he turns evil, it would have made more sense. Now I have to watch Deaths being psycho for the next 6 episodes without ever having any build up to his turn. The show spends too much time making us think Kingpin is some super Svengali, and everyone else on the show looks stupid by comparison. The slow, languid pacing of D'Onofrio's acting and the way everything he says is treated as though he's saying something truly profound gets old after the first few episodes. Ultimately, Daredevil fails for me because it's just too similar to all the other Netflix Marvel shows. There's a sameness in tone and storytelling. You could just as easily put Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, or Frank Castle into this season and it wouldn't change anything. They need to lighten up a bit. They need to lighten up a bit and really start to distinguish all of these Marvel Netflix characters. Not every character needs to be relentlessly dark and brooding. I'll give this a final grade of C-. I really didn't like this, but I am going to watch the final 6 episodes. And because I do want to see where it all ends. I'm just a sucker because Netflix already suckered me in with the first 6 episodes. So I got to see how it ends. Because, damn it, I'm a completist. So anyway, if you like this review, go check out eclipsemagazine.com for the full written review. And check out the website, eclipsemagazine.com, for all our other reviews. And coming up later this weekend, I'm going to review Halloween and The Hate You Give, and Sabrina, the Chilling Tales of Sabrina. I watched the entire season twice now, and I think I'm ready to talk about it. So talk to you guys later. Bye.